Guys, it's B Scott here for another theme park review. Today I will be reviewing Halloween Haunt at Canada's Wonderland for the 2022 season. Also, this is the first season since COVID. I think you're allowed to say that now because it's over. First season after COVID that they brought back the haunted houses. As you guys know, last year there was Halloween Haunt, but they only had the scare zones. So let's get into it. So we got there and it was opening night. Complete opposite of last year. Last year, opening night was sold out. There was a lot of people there. It was crazy. Last night, it wasn't too bad. There was barely anyone there. We didn't have to line up too long for too many rides or mazes. The only two, I mean, sorry. So the only two mazes that we had to line up for, probably for about 20 minutes, was the ruins and paranormia. I think that's what you call it. I don't even know, but yeah. Also I went with B-Man the Champ. If you guys want to check out his review featuring yours truly, it's on his YouTube, and I also gave my quick review there. But here I will give you my full review. So we get there when it opens. We go through security. There was no issues. Pretty much the scare zones were the same as last year, so like we knew what to expect. And plus, like the scare actors don't really target you because, as you know, if you know me and also B-Man, we're both big guys and we don't. Well, I actually get scared very easily, and like it's not just because of haunted houses. It's just in general. Like I jump very easy at stuff, so I'm very easily scared. But these scare actors don't know that, so they don't usually target bigger guys. They usually go after girls and they scream and whatever. But yeah, so the one thing about Haunt that I will say, and now that I've done the full experience, it's a great atmosphere, but you know, most of the scare actors are not professionally trained actors, and that really ruins the vibe. Because you know, when you go to screamers and stuff like that, they are professionally trained actors. And yes, I know Screamers is apparently like a theater troupe, so they're all professional actors, so it's a little more scarier. And also, if you go to some of the other haunted houses, like Fear Farm, I can't think of the one, Scream Park and Bigamins and Haunt Manor in Niagara, they usually hire more professional people, also older people, who know what they're doing, who do it every year. Wonderland, they have a few, but most of them are young teenagers, like 17, 18, and into their early 20s. The only good scare zone was Carnival, and like that's the clowns, and those guys seem like they're much older. They're in their 30s and in their 20s, and they know what they're doing, and they know how to scare people. And I know people who have even worked at the park, and I think there's a lot of factors into why they're not hiring like a lot of good people. You know, they're paying people $15 an hour, which is not a decent wage. You know, the working conditions are shit. You know, there's always a risk of you getting assaulted by like a teenager or also verbally abused, and you can't fight back. You know, it's crazy. And yeah, but anyways, back to my review. So we get there. So the ride lines weren't too bad. So that was pretty good. I will talk about the food. So I went to the Tim Hortons to get an ice cap and a pop. Now this is a funny story. I do know from like Amusement Insiders, who is another YouTuber, that Wonderland's food and beverage department is really not that good, and I can second that. So we go to Tim Hortons, and I asked for a regular bottle of Coke and an ice cap made with chocolate milk. Well, this lady grabbed the Coke Zero 2 times, and I roar out laughing. I'm like, I said Coke, and then she's like, oh, I totally forgot. I'm like, I said regular Coke. So I don't know who you're hiring for your sorry, I'm even laughing saying this, for your food and beverage department, but I just asked for a regular Coke and you grabbed Coke Zero 2 times. How hard is that? And look, I'm not dissing anyone. I'm not disrespecting. I get it's retail. I get it's hard, but I asked for a regular Coke and you grabbed the Coke Zero 2 times. Like, I'm sorry. At least I got my ice cap right, though. Thank God. Oh, also, a bottle of pop is $5. Talk about inflation. Shh. Never ever buying a bottle of pop from Wonderland again. So yeah, so the scare zones pretty much same old as last year. Some of the scare actors were really funny. You know, actually, like they'd say a joke to you or something like that. But I wasn't really too scared by them, even though they weren't really targeting me, like I said. So let's now get into the mazes. Again, so for the mazes, like the props were really good. The acting, on the other hand, eh, not too good. But and also they were very short staffed. But hey, you know what? Like there's a lot of different factors. It was opening night. You know, it is September. They're probably hiring. I might be going back in a few weeks. So hey, again, I'm not dissing no one. I ain't disrespecting no one. It's my opinion of what I saw and what I think. I still like Wonderland. I'm still gonna go, but this is just my opinion. So we did the Corn Stalkers maze. There was just a lot of empty parts to it. You know, like the beginning, you walk through Timberwolf Falls, I think it's called. So it's like a water ride, and it's just empty. You know, like they have all these woods, and there's nothing to pop out at you. There's just a couple of lights, and then you go into the corn maze. Oh, yeah, I think they had like the people, dressed as the scarecrows, and they jump out at you. Okay, cool, whatever. Sensory Manor was actually the first maze that we did. Very dark, kind of scary, but just they need to work on their acting. I'm really sorry. You know, like they need to work on their acting. So Sensory Manor was okay. Cornstalkers was meh. What was the next one we did? Fuck, I can't remember. Sorry, folks. I know. Fuck, what was it called? Oh yeah. How can I forget this one? The Crypt. Yeah, literally the Crypt. I'm like, okay. Let's talk about the lineup. And I don't know if you saw this on B-Man's vlog, if you guys have watched it. So literally, it's right beside the go-kart area. So there was no one in line, so we just thought that like we could go in line. The lady's like, no, you need to go through the go-karts and go all the way around. I'm like, but why? There's no lineup. I get if it was a massive lineup, but there was hardly anybody. So then we go around the long ass way past through the go-kart track, which is why I don't know. And then we line up to go in the Crypt. Oh my god, what a nightmare. They were letting in people all at once. It was like sardines in a can. It was like the TTC. And then the worst part was, we had these young girls behind us, and then of course, the scare actors are obviously gonna scare them. So these girls are jumping onto me and grabbing me. I'm like, don't fucking touch me. I don't fucking know you. Don't fucking touch me. And then yeah, they're touching me, they're grabbing me. I'm like, don't fucking touch me. Like, I don't care if you're scared. Don't fucking touch me. Like, I didn't say that obviously, but like, yeah, like I'm not your boyfriend. Don't fucking touch me. Like, you got a man, grab him. But anyways, yeah. So that's what happened in the Crypt. It was just a nightmare. People like screaming and running into you. It was like, they really need to rethink the Crypt. So for our last two mazes, again, we went into Wonder Mountain. We did, what was it called? Fuck, I can't remember now. It was the ones in the underground. Anyways, I'll probably think of the names later. One, again, this one was actually had a bit more space, so like you had like more like room to move around. But again, they let in too many people at once. But I did love in both these mazes. These two mazes were probably the best ones of the whole night. They had the different like so-called monsters that like lived in the mountain, and then in the last one, Paranormal or whatever the fuck it was called, they had like the lasers and stuff. It was really, really cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to give you guys a quick update from what I've heard about Wonderland. So according to Amusement Insiders, Canada's Wonderland is really trying to take the family route. And you can definitely see that. So in the next few years, you are really going to see them getting rid of the haunted houses and making more scare zones. So like apparently they're going to be making this more of a kids event, and it's like, but that's why you have the Camp Snoopy during the day. Why don't you have the event for the adults at night? I really don't get it, but hey, I don't work for Cedar Fair. That is their responsibility. But yeah, so be ready in the next few years for them to get a lot more family-friendly entertainment. Also, sorry, two more things. We went to the Vampire Disco, which is now inside of the Kingswood Theater. Definitely do not think that was a good idea. Last year it was outside of the Kingswood Theater, and there you had a lot more. There, like, it was a lot more visible. You got a lot more of a crowd. Now, with it being inside of Kingswood, and there's nothing like around there this year. Like last year, they had a scare zone right beside it, but now they don't. So now there's like really not much in that area. So you're not really getting much of a crowd down there. So I think for next year, they should move the Vampire Disco back outside. So we did go inside. There honestly was nobody in there. There were like a few of the vampire dancers. They talked to us. Also, we did try the blood pack. It's basically wine inside of a pack. It's almost like a Kool-Aid kind of thing. I don't even know how much I paid for that. I think it was like $8. Very overpriced. So yeah, so that was pretty boring. Again, there's a lot of different factors. It was opening night, so let's see what happens in a few weeks, right? But anyways, then we went to the newest attraction at Halloween Haunt. It's called the Day of the Dead Festival, which, of course, as you know, is big in Mexico. This event was okay, although they really need to turn down their sound just a little teeny bit because it was a little bit too loud. I was right beside the speakers, and I nearly blew my ears out. It was so loud. But like, it was an okay show. Like, they dance around, and then actually, like, there's a little parade, as they call it, and then they go in the crowd and whatnot. So that was okay. Extremely family friendly again, but Then I don't remember the name of it. It's the fire show. But now they've moved the fire show to the water stage inside of Medfair, because that's where the Sink the Jerk was last year. But they actually got rid of that because some parents complained, and actually last year a lot of kids were basically throwing the things at the jerk and he fell in the water. It's a long story short. Anyways, they had to get rid of that, so then they put the fire show there. So basically the fire show is the same old as last year. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So this year's Halloween Haunt, I'd give it about a 6 out of 10. I do like the atmosphere. I just wish that they would improve the acting. Because, it wasn't really good acting, as I've said throughout. But anyways, guys, that's enough for me. I hope you enjoy this review. Peace out.